Hello everybody! Look at this fancy little girl setup here. We finally figured out she's been on a quest all morning to find the most comfy place to lay. Anything we put in the floor that's soft, she's been like, oh, girl, plop. Including a hockey jersey, a dirty pair of gym pants, and now my car seat cover. So, good morning everybody. I hope you're finding this as entertaining as we have the past couple of hours. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you are ready to work. I cut the workout down by just a little bit. Again, we're probably still going to go an hour, but I wanted to just make sure that we are not overdoing it, that we're really getting the focus. And I found the past several workouts we were having to, kind of speed up towards the end. And so just wanted to slow it down just a little bit, make sure we get the best possible workout. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So what you're going to need, the one thing that's really the only requirement, and even then, really what's a requirement, right? We're just working out and having fun, is you're going to want a full range of weights today. So, and that's just because we're going to be doing some upper body, some lower body, some really small muscles in the upper body. So just whatever you have, a light, medium, heavy, full range if you have it. If not, if you just have one, we'll make it work, right? You just do a few extra reps, it'll be perfect. So light, medium, heavy weights today. And you will need a sturdy chair. So again, I always say like a heavy kitchen chair or something like that. But with this, I'll tell you why you need it, because then that'll help you kind of plan. Because really you have lots of options as we're going to be doing some tricep dips. So that can be a countertop, a coffee table, a chair, whatever it is that's sturdy, can support your weight and not tip over when you're hanging some weight off the end, right? So that's what you're looking for with a sturdy chair. And then you're going to need a resistance band if you have it. Again, now we're getting into the optional stuff. So resistance band, you want to either have, your nice circular resistance band here that's rubber, or you can have this cloth resistance band that I just started messing around with thanks to a gift from a friend. These are really awesome, just my little PSA. If these are just not doing it for you anymore, you got a little too strong for these, or you hate how they roll up, whatever it is, this is a great option. Just know that if you bump up to one of these, they are incredibly strong. Even the lightest ones are pretty darn strong. So it's a big jump up, but for a lot of us, if we've been working out for a while, we need it. Okay? So enough about that. That's your option. And then a stability ball, if you have it. That's one of these big balls here. So if you have one, perfect. If not, I'll just tell you a different exercise to do instead. Okay? So if you have that, grab that. And then the last thing you're going to need is, of course, just your yoga mat, your floor support, or if you're my sweet little Rizzo, a car seat cover. She has decided to leave us, I think, or maybe she's coming back, so I'll leave it down. Oh my goodness, okay, hang on one second, indulge me. You don't often get to see this member of the Strong Style Fitness family, so I'm indulging you and giving you, you got both. You got both. So this is our sweet bee. I can't remember if he's ever been on a video. I think maybe once before, but this is our 17-year-old man. He's clearly living the fit life if he's made it to 17, right? So he's all about the wellness. And by wellness, I mean eating his own poop and eating everything he can get his hands on and occasionally walking across the house. He's really, really living the fit life, guys. So this is our handsome man bandit. You got to meet the whole family, right? All right, I'm going to pass you back. Pass you back. All right, guys, awesome. So what we are doing today, here he comes. He's got to be about that close to see anything, so. All right, guys. All right, so we've got our equipment. What we are doing today, I'll just go through it real quick. We're working opposing muscle groups. So for every muscle that you have a muscle that has to relax for that muscle to work. So for your bicep to flex, your tricep has to be relaxed. You can't flex your tricep and flex your bicep at the same time. It's just impossible. So it's kind of fun to work those muscles together and start fatiguing both out to see what happens. So we are going to do some opposing muscle group today, and I'll tell you what the muscles are just so you kind of have your Tracy science lesson for the day. We're going to be doing 2 exercises. That's it. We'll do 2 exercises, go through that set 3 times, and we have got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So we've got a total of 10 exercises. I swear I wrote a little less than that, but here we go. So we've got that. As always, modify if needed. Always, if I don't tell you how to modify or you don't know an obvious way to modify, just leave me a message and I will be happy to help you with that. As always, no music. Add your music if you need it. I'll be checking Facebook for questions once we finish each superset. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know. I'm happy to help you. And the last 2 things always, please, please, please share these workouts, share my page, subscribe to my YouTube page. It's a great way to find all my workouts in one spot, neatly organized, where Facebook is just kind of in date order. And if you have any friends or family that's not into social media, perfect place to send them to YouTube. And lastly, if you would like to Venmo me any donations or tips for this class, it is the only payment I receive for these classes, so it is truly appreciated. Venmo at Strong Style Fit is where you'll find me. All right, guys, so enough goofing around. I hope you enjoyed the introduction of the Sanye dogs, the Strong Style Fit fam. So we are going to start in our lower body just to get that heart rate moving. So we're going to do some goblet squats and we're going to do some hamstring rolls. So if you have the stability ball, go ahead and bring the stability ball into the workout space with you. For goblet squat, you're going to want probably what you would consider a heavy weight. If you are beginning or if you have knee problems and you're worried about adding extra weight, just don't add extra weight. There's no requirement to add weight to the goblet squat. But if you're somebody who is beyond the very beginner level, have no problems, no issues you're worried about, go ahead and grab yourself what you call a heavy weight. I'm going to grab a drink of water, I'm going to check the video, and then we will get started. Yay! Hey, Geraldo. Hey, Geraldo. Hey, Caroline. Thank you. I'm glad you like my shirt, Geraldo. I was laughing at myself. The past couple shirts I've bought, I don't buy myself clothes very often, have all been like something about dogs lately. So I'm kind of hooked on my dog tanks, I think. And hey, Caroline, I'm glad you enjoyed seeing Bandit. He's a sweet, old, crazy boy. All right, guys, so we're going to do goblet squat. So to set up your goblet squat, your feet, we've done these recently, so you might be familiar. You want your feet wider than normal. So your normal squat's about hip width or so. You're going to take it a little wider, but we're not going as wide as a sumo. So we're going to have our feet a little wider than hips, and we're going to let our toes flare out. Again, not quite as much as sumo. So basically think regular squat, sumo squat, goblet sort of meets in the middle, right? So the squat is just like any other squat now. So we're tall, we've got our tail nice and tucked, no butt out behind us, and we're going to drop back, hips come back as always, right? That's always our lead in our squat. Our hips come back, stay down, and then for the goblet, we hold here, okay? You don't want it resting on your chest, but you do want it close to your body. You don't want to hold it out here. That's working your shoulders in a way you don't want to. So shoulders back and down, chest nice and forward, weight just slightly off your chest, and we squat. 1. We're going to go for 15. 2. 3. And I like to think of, like I say in sumo squat, zipping up your legs. So when you get to the top, really give everything a squeeze, and then drop back down. 5. 6. Good. 7. Make sure you're keeping those shoulders down. Don't let them start creeping up here. 8. 9. 10. Knees should still be behind those toes. 11. 12. 13. 14. So obviously we're working quads here. 15. Boom. So the opposing to our quadriceps is our hamstrings. So we can't work our quads if our hamstrings are firing, and vice versa. So hamstring rolls is what we're going to do with the ball. If you do not have a ball, then what I want you to do, I'm going to set the ball out of the way, is I want you to come into a bridge. You should be very well versed in bridge. I know I use it a lot. I want you to lift, and I want you to step your feet out, step them back in. So if you're a beginner, and honestly, this is a hard exercise, so when I say beginner, I don't mean anything insulting, then probably one step, because you want to make sure you're keeping those hips high and not dropping them as you step. If you're not a beginner, you need a little more, you can do a couple steps out and a couple steps in. All right? If you have a ball, you're going to put your feet on the ball. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you guys can see. You're going to put your feet on the ball about where the curve of your ankle to your calf is. You're going to lift your hips, and you're going to roll in. All right? So let's get started. Make sure you're keeping those hips high. We're going for 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You start losing your feet on the ball, just drop your hips for a minute, reset. 9. And it just kind of naturally happens. 10, 11, woo, 12. Keep those hips up. 13, 14, core engage, last one, 15. Ha, ha, good stuff. All right. So yeah, if you start losing your feet, your footing on the ball, it's totally normal, especially if you have shoes on. They're going to slip and slide. So just reset. No big deal. All right, guys, so now we can get moving a little quicker. We know where we're going. We've got goblet squat, shoulders back and down, chest proud, toes out. Let's go. 1. Remember, hips back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Zip it up. 6, 7, 8, 9. You might find in a goblet squat you can go a little lower because you have those hips wider. Just gives you a little more room to work. 2 more. Awesome, guys. All right. Back to the hamstrings. Let's bring it around. We have our feet. Again, you want to start kind of where the ball sits, that curve of your ankle to your calf. Woo! Here we go. Perfect. Hips come up. Roll it in. So remember, if you don't have the ball, you're doing those step-ins. 3. Either way, you just want to make sure you're keeping those hips up and that core nice and engaged. Cool, my ball's making this sweet fart noise too. 11, 12, 13, woo! 14, last one, 15. And I definitely know if you're doing the step outs, it might take you a little bit longer to get to 15, or the step outs are so intense, maybe you're not getting quite to 15. And that's all right. The step outs are tough. They're a good replacement for that exercise. But they're tough. I'm not BSing you. I understand that they are. All right. Gonna set up that goblet. Got one more trip through. Let's keep moving. Keep that heart rate up. Whew. Slightly wide stance. Toes out. Hips come back. Remember, keep that weight close to your chest. Not sitting on it, but very close to that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your knees are going to come probably a little more forward than they do when we do a normal squat. That's okay. Just make sure they're staying back behind those toes. If they're not, that means you're probably not setting your hips back. And you're just shooting out forward into your knees. I believe that's 13, 14, 15. Awesome work. Let's bring it back to our hamstrings. One last time. Okay, duck. Let's get it all set up. Whew. Little breathy. Feels awesome. All right, so if you're on the ball, you've got your feet up on the ball. You're gonna lift. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hang tight. I know it's burning. 11, 12. Engage that core. Lift those hips. 13, 14, 15. Woo! All right. So we'll take a little break here. We have done our quads. We've done our hamstrings. So we're going to go into upper body next. We are going to be doing some transitioning from floor to standing. So just always remember, be mindful. If you need to take a little extra time to stand up, don't just hop up, especially if you're someone who tends to get a little dizzy, or you can do that. But we are going to be alternating from standing to lying on the floor. So what you need weights for, probably going to need about a mid-range weight. We're going to be doing a bench press. So you lay on the ground, doing chest press, so we're working pec major. And then your opposing to your pec major is your rhomboids back here. So we're going to be doing a twisted delt fly, and that's going to work your muscles up through here, your rhomboids. So if you're tight here, and you're really flexing, or if you can't really flex your chest and then try to squeeze your shoulders back, you can't really do it, right? If you relax your chest, squeeze your shoulders back. So that's kind of the science behind that. So we're going to bench press, twisted delt fly. Of course, I'm going to coach you through it. Take a drink, get some water, and we'll get started. Okie doke. So let's see. I'm going to grab my mid-range weights here for my bench press. So you need mid-range weight for your bench. And then for your twisted delt fly, you're going to want to go really light. Maybe even lighter than you think. So I'm going to go with 5 pounds. At the most, I would do 7.5, or half 7.5. But honestly, I'm not even sure I would do that. Because what happens, we're trying to target this really small muscle group. So with a fly, you know, I'm calling, both are called flies. So you might be thinking about this. You're like, well, I can go decently heavy. But when we rotate and we really start to focus more in that upper part of your shoulders, you can't do a lot of weight up there. And if you try, you're going to start working your neck and your traps, and that's not what you're looking for. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but we'll get to the bench press. So this is a very common one, pretty straightforward. Just remember, if you do have heavy-ish weights, it's always good to sort of set them on your knees and kick them back, just to be safe. So we've got everything set up here. So we've got our weights over our chest. We've got a nice long spine. I like to kind of pick my tail up and then roll my spine down, so my whole spine's down. We've got our feet on the floor, weights over our chest. So what I want you to do is drop your weights down to where they're even with your chest. Your chest, big nipple line, not chest up here. So you see how my elbows are angled down out of my shoulders, not up here? That's where you want to be. Down, angled out of your shoulders a little bit. If you're up here, you're putting a lot of extra pressure in your shoulder joint. You are working muscles too, but you're working up really high in your chest and your armpits. Where if you drop it down, you're really getting down into that meaty pec major part of your chest. So now that we're here, we lift up, we roll our shoulders back, and let's go. 1, 2. Now I was someone who definitely, we're going to do 12 of these, by the way, 3, who did my bench press up high up until a few months ago, honestly. I didn't know any different. No one told me any different. And I came across some videos talking about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And it totally changes the game in your bench press, because most of us do come straight out of those shoulders. 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Set those down, bring ourselves back up. If you're a little bit lightheaded, just take your time getting up. And then we're going to come with our light weights to do our twisted fly. So, twisted fly, we are going to set up like a normal fly. So we're going to set our weight back, our booty back, just to counterbalance that weight. And come forward a little bit. Shoulders back and down as always. We've got our weights down here. And instead of a fly like this, where we normally have the bent arms, weights facing this way, we're going to turn them, have a straighter arm, not a locked out arm, just a straighter arm. Really make sure that neck is nice and long, and we come straight out. So you can see that moves up in your shoulders a lot higher. And this is one too where you really want to kind of get bent forward a good bit if it's comfortable for you. Just gives you a little more range to work without straining your neck. 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I just gave you guys a bad posture tip because I was looking down at my feet. And we don't do that, right? We look out forward to keep our neck nice and long. So, correcting myself there. All right, it's back to our bench press. Come down. Grab those weights. Kick them back. Beautiful. Get that set up. Again, if you want to take one little practice, drop your weights down. See about where those elbows need to land. And then push it back up. And there we go. So we're going for 12. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should feel almost a stretch in your chest. 6. When you get to the bottom and where you feel that stretch, that's where you squeeze to pick it back up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, 12. Awesome. Set those weights down, bring yourself back up. We've got our twisted delt fly. So again, it's going to walk you through it. We're going to have our weight sitting back, and on this one we really want to try to be tilted forward because we're wanting to come straight up out of those shoulders. It's just a little hard to do that when you're forward and you have weights. So the more you can come down straight up, you're squeezing up high. A lot of times the flies are more down into here. So by changing that positioning, we're moving it up into the higher part of our shoulders. All right, so let's set it back, bring it forward, weights come down, and we open. 1, 2, 3, really squeeze between those shoulders. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good job. That may feel a little weird because we don't typically work up here. But again, I want you to remember, you are feeling that in your neck and these trap muscles through here and not, up in here. It means your weight was probably too heavy in your neck and your traps. We're trying to help do the work. So if you have a lighter option, do a lighter option. Can be something around your house, doesn't have to be a weight. All right, bench press, last trip through. Woo. Let's get that set up. Good, one little practice run. Drop it to the bottom. Get a feel for where that should be. And then to the top. All right, let's do it. So again, feel that stretch, squeeze that stretch. That stretch is indicating what muscles you're working. So that gives you a great idea of where to squeeze to lift. Nine, 10, 11, last one, 12. Perfect. Set those weights down. We got one more trip with our twisted delt fly, and then it's on to some lower body. All right. So I'm going to do a couple different views of the delt fly. I'm going to do a side and a little bit of back too, just so you can see every angle for this one. All right. So remember, we want to get bent over as far as we can and still be comfortable. Don't do what I did. Keep your gaze out. Don't look down at your feet. Keep your gaze out. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, 12. Good job. All right, let's take a little break. You are most like, you'll have a weight option for the next exercise. I'm not going to do it. If you are new to working out, this is probably a new exercise. So I would recommend, unless I start to show you this and you're like, oh yeah, I've done it a million times, you probably don't want to do weights. It's called a Cossack squat or Cossack squat. I'm honestly not sure how you pronounce it. But it is definitely an experiment. Not an experiment, it's a tried and true exercise, but it's a new one for this class. So for most of us, it's going to be sort of experimental. It's going to be great work, but also a little bit of just exploratory and seeing how our body feels in it. So unless I said Cossack squat or Cossack squat and you were like, oh yeah, don't grab a weight. What you do need is your band. So have that handy. But you cannot do both exercises with the band on. Sometimes you can just leave it on. You cannot. So just kind of set that band where you have it, where you need it, but we're not going to start with it, okay? So water, quick break, and then I'll explain the Cossack or Cossack squat, okay? Okie doke. So the Cossack squat, what we're working in this set is your adductors. So that's here, your hip adductors. That's what moves your legs towards your body. And then we are working our glute medius. So these are actually opposing muscle groups. It's not one that's so obvious as a lot of the others, but trust me, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch more time, and I've already talked a lot this workout, but just trust me, adductor here, glute medius, that's the high part of your booty, up in here, those are your opposing muscle groups. So we're going to do the Cossack squat, which is going to be obviously work in one leg and adductor work in the other. And then we're going to do some banded walks. And that's going to hit up in this high booty area. Okay? So Cossack squat, we're going to start wide. And I like to basically not start in the middle. Go ahead and start over to one side. So we're going to come down. Again, hips come back. We're going to come down into like a lateral lunge. This foot comes up. So we come down, we drop, again, hips come back, and we're up on a heel over here. So you'll feel through this adductor pulling. I'm trying to move really slow to show you. So pull through here, squat, we come up to the other side. So we'll alternate back and forth. So you can have a weight here, but I don't love it unless you're really experienced with that exercise. So if you're not, no weights, okay? So we're going to do 20 total, alternating back and forth. Now, depending on your knee flexibility, you may be up here, and that's okay. Just make sure, no matter where you at, dog? No matter where you are at, that your hips are still rocking to the back, that you're not lunging that knee out of your toes, okay? So again, we're all kind of experimenting. This is new for most of us. Just do your best. It's going to be great work, as long as you've got good form. All right, so let's start to one side. 1, 2, whoa, shoot! You almost got me to fall. Ow, you were so close. I looked over my shoulder for some reason and it was all over. All right, back to it. 3, 4, again, we're coming up on that heel. 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's really no rule. 9, to how low. 10, 11, 12, 13, woo, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Bring it on up. So, as I was trying to say before I almost fell over, there's really no rule as to how low you can go. Some people literally almost set their booties on the ground when they do that. So, again, it's your flexibility, it's your knee mobility that's going to allow you to go how high or how low. As long as you have good form, I don't care. If you're able to sit your booty on the floor with good form, beautiful. But if you're just shooting to set your booty on the floor, regardless of form, you're cruising for some pain, okay? So just be mindful, listen to your body. Let's put these bands on. And we want them up around our thigh. Perfect. And all we're going to do is 20 steps. So we're going to do 10 each direction. I'm limited in space, so I'm going to step up so I have a little more room. I'll just be really close to the camera, okay? So I'm going to step off camera. So just remember, when we're stepping, we're going to be low, and we're stepping only as wide as our whole leg can pull that band. So I don't want to see a foot out here and a knee caved in. It's whole leg, okay? All right, so let's get started. 10 each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back the other direction. 10, 9. Make sure you're facing the same way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. So you should have been feeling kind of outer hip, upper booty. Okay? So you just want to make sure that 10, you're leading with one foot, 10, leading with the other foot. All right? I looked a little different because I only have so much space. So I had to kind of make some circles. All right, so back to these squats. So I'm going to go a little wide. I'm going to go ahead and get started to the first side. So yeah, you can literally come down to here and squat. But, you see how far my knee was over? So, keeping that booty back, rocking to one side. So we'll say 1, 2. Make sure you're coming up. This is super important. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Beautiful. Woo. All through here, back in here. So this is definitely an in-training exercise for me as well. So I'm not going to tell you that every one of those looked perfect and that I had the most beautiful form you've ever seen, because I'm learning too. That was honestly one that was just way too challenging for my knee pain. But recently, I felt comfortable enough to try it. So, we're all learning on that one. Don't judge yourself too harshly. All right, we've got our 10 side steps, each direction. Hold low, open that whole leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. All right. Kick that band off. And we've got one more set to get through. All right. So, if those Cossack squats causing you any knee pain, then you can just go to a lateral, here, here. It's really not much different, except we're kicking up onto that heel, and that's what engages these adductors. All right? Okie doke. So let's start to one side. We want it. Perfect. Woo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, starting to burn. 15, 16, 17, 18, 2 more, 19, 20. Woo, woo-wee. Adductors. Good, good, good. It's one of those stretch works, You're working one leg, stretching the other. All right. Got our band. We're going to go ahead. We've got 10 each direction. Keeping it low, opening that whole leg. Let's go. 10, 9, 8. We're holding low. We're not coming up and down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, your breath, mop your sweat. I've got drips everywhere. All right, so next we're gonna do bicep, tricep. So we're gonna do a twisted bicep curl. So all that means is more like a twisting bicep curl is we'll start at the bottom, facing weights forward, and then we twist to the top and back down. And then we're gonna do tricep dips on our chair. So grab your sturdy chair or your countertop or whatever it is, get yourself set up for that. Have that. Since we're just doing that and bicep curls, it won't be in your way to have it right beside you. So I'm gonna grab a drink of water, check on any comments, and then we'll get started. Awesome. I'm glad I wasn't alone and almost falling down. Caroline? It's like, as soon as I looked over that shoulder, it was like, whoop, everything's going. All right, so let's grab our bicep curl weight. All right, looks like we're still doing pretty good on time, so we'll just keep moving. Our next two exercises aren't going to need a ton. These two exercises really don't need too much instruction at all, so we'll get right to work. So we've got bicep curl with that twist, so we're going to roll our shoulders back. Just this is demonstration, so you don't have to get started yet, but we start with our weights here, facing the ends forward, and then we come to the top, we twist them, and then twist them back down, okay? All right, so we're going to go for 12. If you get to 12, easy peasy, you can add a couple more on, okay? All right, let's do it. 1, 2, don't rush through them. 3, we always like to go for that 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, really squeeze those biceps at the top. 6, keeping those elbows locked into your sides. 7, 8, 9, good. 10, 2 more. 11, last one. 12, awesome. All right, set those weights down. We've got our tricep dip on our chair. So just a couple coaching items on the tricep dip on the chair. Main thing, number 1, that always happens, and it's the only point I'm really going to keep making, is that we come off the chair, we have our hands all set up, we come off the chair and we come out here and start dipping. Look at the position my shoulder is in. I'm working my shoulders pretty much exclusively and not in a good way. You want to come off the chair, right up against it, and slide straight up and down that chair. So now my shoulders are still where they're supposed to be, and my triceps are doing all of the work. So, shoulders down, keep pushing those shoulders down. Imagine you're pushing that chair away from you, and that's going to help you keep a nice long neck and shoulders down. Your feet, I'll show you a couple different variations if you need to make it a little more challenging. All right, so we've got our hands right underneath our shoulders. We slide off. Again, we're pushing away. We drop down, push. 2. Just make this harder if you need to. Whoop, and see how far away? I was already creeping away. You can lift a foot, or you can drop both feet out. Your choice. 6, 7. Just be careful when we start changing our feet. That's when we start moving away from the chair. 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. All right. So yeah, when we start burying our feet, we start thinking about our feet, and we start coming away from that chair. I did it almost instantly, and I've practiced these a pretty good amount of time. So just be mindful of that. When you start playing with your feet, make sure you know where your back is. All right. Back to those bicep curls. All right, shoulders back and down, drop chest, and we bicep curl. 1. When you work bicep and tricep together, 2. I feel that's one of the most dramatic. 3, where you really feel that opposing muscle group work. 4. It's like my biceps already feel super tired. I've only done 1 set. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11. Last one. 12. Great work. All right. Back to those triceps. Let's come to our chair. You want your hands right underneath your shoulders, which to start while you're on your chair means you probably have to slide them under your booty just a little bit. Then we come off the edge, shoulders back and down, and we scrape. 1, 2, really squeeze it at the top. 3, push that chair away. 4, 5, elbows coming straight back. 6, 7, where's your back? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woo! On fire. I'm telling you, bicep, tricep together will get you. Normally, tricep dips are definitely challenging, but if I'm doing 12 with the kind of modified legs, normally it's not that much, but combined with this, woo, plenty. All right, last set. Take a breath, focus. Let's go. 1. It already feels so heavy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, woo, 8, 9, 10. Woo. Sometimes you gotta fight for it. 11. Last one. 12. Wow. All right, I'm gonna set my weights off to the side because those are done. Tricep dips, last set. Whew. Man, oh man. Is it just me? That those bicep curls were like, what is happening? All right, so we got our tricep dips, last set. Get it set up, long neck, shoulders down. Slide it off, down. Push it away. 2, 3, 4, 5. Push the chair down. 6, 7, 8. Where's your back? 9, 10, 11, 12. Woo! Man, oh man. All right. If you're able, like those spaghetti arms, you can get your chair out of your way now. This chair's gonna feel like it weighs 50 pounds. Woo-wee. All right, guys. So that was obviously bicep, tricep opposing muscles. So the last thing we're going to work today is a little bit of core. We're going to work our abdominals. So we're going to work your main abdominal muscles through here. So not obliques, right through the middle here, your middle abs. So your abdominis, and then we're going to work your erector spinae. Your erector spinae is the muscles that run right down along your spine. Super important for stability, back support, things like that, keeping you standing upright. So opposing to your abdominals, to your erector spinae. So that's where we're going to work. Both things are going to be down on the floor, and you need no equipment. We're going to work on our back and we're going to work on our belly. All right? So go ahead and get yourself set up, get some water. If your heart rate is super high, then wait just a minute before you get down on the floor. I'm going to get some water, take a video. We're going to throw our last set together. Yes, Caroline, I definitely see what you're saying about hard to balance and that cossack squat. I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. Absolutely. And that's one thing I love, especially just to finish catching our breath. I work with, for those of you who don't know me personally, I work with a lot of elderly clients or just senior creeping towards clients. And one thing that's so important with working with those types of clients is working on balance, but it's also one of those things to remember that it's not just for older people. It's something that you lose over time if you don't practice it. So it's important to start now, whatever age you're at, if it's 20, 30, 40, whatever, start now, because it's something we're naturally going to lose no matter what we do. But we can fight it, we can make sure we keep working towards getting it better. That way when we start losing it, we're already up here with our balance and start losing it instead of being here with our balance and then start losing it, right? Okay, now over break, we're going to do our core work, and then we'll be all done. All right, so this is sort of a combination move for our abs. So again, we're working the middle and a little bit towards the sides, but just not the obliques here. So we are going to do a double leg lift. I'm just showing you here, you don't have to get started just yet. So we're going to double leg lift, cross. So you're rotating your whole chest across. So again, we're not crunching in this awkward way. We're lifting our whole chest, coming across and down. Then we drop. Up, cross, cross. If you need to support that lower back, you can put your hands underneath, lift, bring them out, cross, cross, and then put them back and drop. If that's a lot, if that's a little awkward, then just leave them. And you could probably just do a little chest lift without using your arms. Just make sure you're not pulling through your head and that you're really lifting that chest. And if that's too much, just leave your hands underneath and do the leg lifts. Okay? All right. We're going for 10. 1. 2. Lift. Lift. 3. Lift. Lift. Really think about that flat core, that pelvis tilted up and in. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. 10. Perfect. All right, guys, go ahead and get rolled over onto your back, or I'm sorry, onto your belly. I'm just going to experiment with one thing real quick. Nah. I have an idea and then I'm poo-pooing it immediately. All right, so we're going to do a Superman with a little bit of an angel. So, Superman, we lay out flat. And we're going to have our arms and our legs extended out. So, we're flying like Superman, right? So, from here, you have a couple variations. You can do just the leg lift. So we lay flat, and we squeeze, and lift. So that's one variation. Or the full variation of a Superman is to lift arms and legs. Now we're not doing that by craning up our neck. We're not doing that by squeezing through our shoulders. We are flexing the muscles in our back to lift up and down. The full version that you could do if you want to make it an angel with your Superman is to lift and down. So think snow angel and down. I'm a little limited in my space, but I'm going to give it a shot. All right, so we're going for 10. 10. 9. 8. Again, neck relaxed. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Perfect. All right. So remember that angel at the end, 100% optional. If you feel it's pulling too much on your back, your neck, just leave the angel out. Just Superman up. It's just an extra add-on to the Superman. For those of us who have done Superman a lot in group fitness or in training, just a little extra thing you can throw on if you need to make your Superman a little more challenging. All right, so we're back to our leg lifts. I am going to experiment with one thing. I'm going to put a heavy weight back behind my head. And this is just an option. I was just thinking about trying to keep a little more anchored down. So if you put a heavy weight behind your head, you can sort of hang on to it, and that anchors your upper body when you leg lift. It just makes me feel a little more stable than having my arms down here. I tend to pull my head up a little bit. So it is an option for you if you want. Put a heavy weight behind you and just hang on. Just make sure you're not pulling, that you're just kind of hanging on to it for some stability. All right. Get that core nice and flat and engaged. I'm going to roll my tail under, get my whole spine flat. Flatten that belly, pelvic floor up and in. Let's do it. 1. Drop it. 2. Whole chest rotates. Down. 3. 4. 5. Down. 6. You should feel this whole middle row. 7. 8. 9. Woo! Last one. 10. Woo! All through that middle, just burning up. So good. All right, I'm gonna roll it over. We've got our Superman. So remember, you can just be here, or you can just be upper body, or you can combine, add on the angel. Whichever way you want to do it, I am just going to Superman. I'm going to omit the angel this round, just so you see what that looks like as well. All right, we're going for 10. 10. 9. So the goal is not how high you can lift. It's squeezing that booty and squeezing through that back to lift. If you're using those muscles and you can only come half an inch off the ground, that's fine. 3, 2, 1. So, the goal is just to come as high as you can while squeezing the glutes, squeezing through the back. If you are just arching your back to get as high as you possibly can, That's not the point of the exercise. The point is engaging those muscles. So even if you only lift that much, that's just fine. All right. Just get my anchor back in place. We've got one more set and we'll be all done. All right. Perfect, friends. So anchor down if you're anchoring. Flatten that abdomen, pelvic floor up and in. Let's do it. 10. 9. Rotate. 8. 7. 6. Don't lose that engagement. 5. 4. Woo! 3. 2. Woo! 1 more to go. 1. Woo! Woo! Ah, man, so good. So much burn. Ah, and it's awesome because we're getting upper and lower abs in that work. Ah. All right, guys. Superman, lower body, upper body, both, or at an angel, wherever you are today. Let's go for 10. 10. Ooh, my hips got a little off. Squeeze it at the top. 9. Make sure you're holding for just a moment. 8. 7. 6. 5. Head moves along with that spine. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Boom. Woo. All right, guys. Awesome work today. I hope you were sweating like me. I'm leaving puddles everywhere. So, just another little science experiment with our body and what we can do and how we can move it differently. So just using those opposing muscle groups to really understand how our muscles work together and how working those two groups together can really fatigue out those muscles faster. It's a pretty awesome little experiment to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're sweaty. I hope you're fatigued, but you're feeling good and ready to tackle the rest of your day. So just a reminder, for those of you who are watching live and not this on a recording, that I will not be doing live classes next week. So next Tuesday, next Saturday, there will be no live classes. I work 3 jobs, and every now and then, on a rare occasion, it lines up that I can get a few days off from all 3 jobs at once. So this happens to be one of those weeks. I don't get the whole week, but I get a few days. So I'm not going to be doing videos on Tuesday, Saturday, and next week. But never fear, there are 43 videos available for you on Facebook and YouTube. So please go back, check out an old workout. There is nothing wrong with any of those old workouts. They're all incredible. They're just maybe one you've done before, but maybe not if you haven't been with me since March. So please, please, please don't not work out just because I'm not here. Please go back and find some videos. Keep moving through this week, and I will see you in the Tuesday after Labor Day. This is when the next live workout will be. So guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being here. Please share these workouts, share a message, and if you wish to donate any money to these, for these classes, Venmo at Strong Style Fit is where you find me. I hope you guys have a great week and a half or so until I see you again, and I look forward to it. Take care. Mwah.